everyone, my name is Chelsea and welcome back to my channel. For today's video, we are doing September's To Be Rolled. So welcome back to another round of my TBR game. We will be doing this, don't worry, but we are obviously also going to be doing Bookopoly. It is the September round of the Bookopoly Readathon, Bookoplathon, and I'm very excited. We are going to be attempting to put both TBR games together in order to do this. Because if you've been following me for any time recently, you know I have a newborn and I've been slowly trying to get back into the reading game. I've been doing some readathons to try to encourage me to read. I'm currently in the middle of the magical readathon right now. But this is the first readathon where it has its own TBR game, so we're going to be mashing things together. At least I'll be trying to. So before we get into rules and how I'm going to do this, even though that just fell over, we're going to talk a little bit about the magical readathon TBR that I did. So I did end up doing 5 rolls for the month of August, and so far I finished the manga that I ended up picking out, which was Blue Period Volume 3. I actually read Volumes 1 through 3. I finished Emergency Skin, which is one that you guys picked for me in a poll pick. It was a short story, so very easy to get through. And then I'm currently reading my mood read book, which is In Absence by Laura Diaz de Arce. That is actually a new release, just came out. It is a short story collection about grieving and, you know, things being in absence, but it is also sort of horror. Not everything so far that I've read is horror. Some just get you in the feels too, but I'm absolutely loving it so far. I'm about halfway through, so I have 3 things done. There were also, I think, 1 or 2 other prompts I needed to complete for the magical readathon in general, so I'm probably about halfway through my TBR, and I haven't read any of the actual novels that I was going to read. I have 1 novella and 1 novel, and then I need to find something that somebody else didn't like and I think might sound good, and the one I had preemptively picked was another novel. So we'll see. So I do still have some time left in the month. I might finish my entire TBR. I might not. We shall see. Like I said, I'm getting back into the swing of things. Everything so far has been ebooks as well, because I just don't think it's very possible to pick up a physical book with a newborn, although we'll see what happens this month. I might be open to some physical books as well, depending on the prompts and stuff, because what we're going to be doing, like I mentioned a little bit before, is combining the games. So what I will be doing is my typical 5 rolls for TBR To Be Rolled and 5 rolls for Bookopoly. Now, if I get doubles in Bookopoly, that does mean I'm going to be adding rolls on just to keep in the spirit of the game. However, the first 5 rolls are going to be the ones that I focus on for my TBR, and then we'll see if we get to anything else. And I'm going to be combining them. So my first roll for Bookopoly and my first roll for TBR To Be Rolled will be combined. So let's say, because I have the Bookopoly board right here, Bookoplathon, I guess I should say, if I get, down here we have seasons that books can be set in for the different railroad stations. If I get a book set in winter for my first roll, I shouldn't because that's near the end of the board, but let's say a book set in winter and I roll the dice and I get a blue, I would have to find a book set in winter, and it would be a poll pick for you guys. So I would probably find 2 to 3 books set in winter and have you guys pick it. Or I guess it's even winter vibes. You know, there is some interpretation. But I'm going to be matching up roll for roll in this game. So we are going to do all 5 Bookoplathon rolls and all 5 TBR To Be Rolled rolls and combine them. Now, saying that, I'm going to be skipping the orange space on my dice, because the orange space is just a TBR bucket pick, and that doesn't really lend itself to being combined. And because I'm trying to do this as easily as possible, we're going to skip oranges this month. So if orange does pop up, we are going to skip that and roll again. But everything else on my dice is the same, so if we get a red, I have red cards back here that correspond with who gets to pick a book for me, so that would be either Presley, my husband, a friend, or you guys. And if it's you guys, we'll have to see how that works, because if I have another prompt, I would make my husband follow it, or if I get a prompt and it's Presley, I would pick a couple things that Presley can then pick out of to make sure it fits the prompt. You know, we'll see. Like I said, we're gonna skip orange. Yellow are yellow cards, so these are prompts relating to like format of book, age grouping of book. These should hopefully fit mostly with the Bookoplathon prompts. Then we have green. Green are more cards that are going to be challenges. If we get a green, again, hopefully they fit with the prompts for Bookoplathon, but also I had the epiphany that with Bookopoly, we are supposed to have community shelf cards and chance cards. So for the community shelf cards, I have my green cards, and they are challenges. So like, for example, one of them here is a book that I think I'm going to unhaul. Another one is a random number for my physical TBR. So if I end up getting a community shelf pick, I'm going to pick out of my green cards. If I get a chance pick, that's where the TBR bucket is going to come in, because literally I have all, I say all of my TBR books in here except for the last few months. I need to update it actually. But they're random books. Completely random from my physical TBR, from my ebook TBR. That will be the chance card pick. So if chance comes up, we will pick from my TBR bucket. If community shelf card comes up, we will use my cards. Blue is still a poll pick, so if blue comes up, I will pick some books that fit the prompt that we are going to get from Bookopoly, and then let you guys pick which book you want me to read. And then purple is the same thing that it's always been. If I land on a purple, it's sort of a wild card in the fact that I then get to choose another color to use. So yeah, I think that is it. I'm going to be using this little mug for my Bookopoly piece for the board. This is actually from a Monopoly set. I think it was like the 2000 one where they like had people vote on new things. So technically it's like a Starbucks Monopoly mug. And then I also have my dice. So we're gonna be rolling for Bookoplathon, and we're gonna be rolling this die for my game and putting them together. Okay, so for roll number 1, we have an 8.
1.
It'll be a book with pattern and text on the cover. Roll number 1. Here we go. Oh, we're not doing oranges. Let's try again. Roll number 1, take 2. Ready?
1 plus 1 equals 2.
You're right, 1 plus 1 equals 2. What color? Blue. Okay. Okay, so roll number 1 for Bookoplathon, we landed on pattern and text. So that means we need to find a cover that is mostly patterns or text. That is like the focus of it. We don't really have much else on the cover. And then for my game, we got a blue, which means I actually have to find between 2 to 4 books like that and let you guys vote on them. I think I'm gonna make it easy on you guys and easier on me. We're just gonna pick 2. So the first one that I have here is Rosewater by Tade Thompson. This I do have on ebook. From my understanding, this is a sci-fi, and it says it's going to be set in Nigeria. Rosewater is a town on the edge, a community formed around the edges of a mysterious alien biodome. Its residents comprise the hopeful, the hungry, and the helpless. People eager for a glimpse inside the dome or a taste of its rumored healing powers. Okay, I'm not going to read any further, but yes, sci-fi, alien biodome, I'm very curious. And then my second choice is Luck of the Draw by Kate Claiborne. So from my understanding, this one is going to be a contemporary romance. Buying a lotto ticket with her 2 best friends didn't change Zoe's life. Only following her heart would do that. Sure, winning the lottery allows Zoe Ferris to quit her job as a cutthroat corporate attorney, but no amount of cash will clear her conscience about the way her firm treated the O'Leary family in a wrongful death case. So she sets out to make things right, only to find gruff, grieving Aidan O'Leary doesn't need or want her apology. He does, however, need something else from her. Something Zoe is more than willing to give, if only to ease the pain in her heart, a sorrow she sees mirrored in his eyes. Aidan doesn't know what possesses him to ask his family's enemy to be his fake fiancé. Okay, I'm good. Fake dating, or I guess fake fiancé trope. Very excited. Roll number 2. We have a double 3 for a 6.
Number 1.
This is a book published or set since the year of 2020. Roll number
2.
2. Oh, what color?
Purple.
Purple, okay. Okay, roll number 2 on the Bookoplathon board was a book that is either published or set since the year of 2020. So within the last couple years. And then for my TBR game, we got a purple, which means I get to pick any other color here to fit that. Do I want to pick a card for this, or do I want to like have somebody pick the book for me? We'll see. Okay, I think what I'm going to do is actually let you guys pick again, because I think that is going to be the easiest way to do this. I'm going to pick a couple books for a poll pick, and you guys are going to then vote on which book you want me to read. And again, to make it a little easier, I'm going to pick books that were published since 2020, so either like 2021 or 2022. Yeah. So you know what? I'm getting into a sort of spooky mood, so what I ended up doing was picking 2 books that I feel like could potentially have fall-ish vibes, but are also not too long. So the first one I have here is Gallant by V.E. Schwab. I've heard this compared a little bit to like Coraline vibes, so sort of spooky in that sort of way. And again, not very long. I feel like even though this is a physical book, it should definitely be easy enough to read. And this came out, I believe, this year in 2022. And then the other one I picked is The X-Hex by Aaron Sterling. So this actually is going to be more romance than spooky, but it is a fall romance. It has witchy vibes. And again, it's romance. Not too long. Can we see this? It's very floppy. Not too long, but also romances don't take me very long, so these ones are what we're picking. Roll number 3. Double 1s for 2. This is a book that has my favorite trope. Roll number 3. Ready?
Ah!
What color?
Yellow.
Yellow. Okay, roll number 3 for Bookopoly was my favorite trope, which I feel like is quite broad. I have a few different ones that I really do enjoy, mostly romancy sort of tropes, so we'll see. But what I rolled for my game was a yellow, which means we have to pick a card, which means that might change how and what we're picking. Okay, so I have my yellow cards here. I'm going to shuffle them a bit so that we can hopefully figure this out. I have no idea what order these are going to be in. Spreading them out a bit. Presley's not in here, so we're going to pick this one. A fantasy. Okay, I think this could work for some of the tropes that I really, really enjoy. Okay, so I'm not entirely sure if this is going to count for one of my favorite tropes. I'm going to count it myself, but what I've picked is A Hunt of Shadows by Elise Kova. This is the second book in the Trial of Sorcerers series, and the first book has for sure my favorite trope for fantasy, which is like a magical competition. I absolutely love that one, 5 out of 5 stars, and so that's why I have this one. It came out this year. It's an absolutely gorgeous book. I don't know for sure if there's a magical competition in here, but it does say at the very end of the summary, the only way to kill a legendary champion will be to become one herself. So I feel like that might also mean she has to become a champion in some way, so there might be a magical competition. But yeah, the first book had a magical competition. This is a world with different magics, and our main character has water magic, and this is the sequel. So I'm gonna pick this one. Roll number 4. 3. This is a book from my favorite genre. Roll number 4. What color?
Purple.
Purple. Okay, so for my roll number 4 for Bookoplathon, I got my favorite genre, which I always say is sci-fi. So I'm going to be trying to find a sci-fi book, but I also ended up getting a purple, which means we need to then pick another color. And I think for this one, I'm going to green card, because these are challenges and it won't interfere with the genre I have picked, because if I pick a yellow, those do have other genres in there, and I don't know if I'd want to get something that was like sci-fi horror, although that's not bad, but like that makes it a little harder to pick. Okay, green cards. Let's see, I'm going to pick this one. A reread. Okay, a sci-fi reread. So basically I just get to pick one of my favorite sci-fis, probably, and reread that. Or one in a series that I wanted to reread before another one's coming out, or before I get to ones that I haven't done yet. So that means I actually don't need any of these books here. Okay, let's see. You know what? I think I'm going to pick, and I'm not going to go out there and get it, although I have all of them, Paper Girls by Brian K. Vaughan and Cliff Chiang. So this is a series that I read, I think, back in 2020. Absolutely loved, and recently my husband and I watched the Amazon Prime TV show, and there are definite differences between the TV show and the comic series. So much so that even though the TV show I think was really well done, it's more character drama driven, like relationships between characters, like characters are either expanded upon or changed in certain ways, or new characters brought in, and the time travel aspect is not as much the focus. But also when I read this, I read volume 1 through 6, because there are 6 volumes, and I remember being very confused at the very beginning of the series, but like in a good way, because it is time travel-y, and eventually everything comes together in like volume 5 and volume 6, and I knew immediately I wanted to reread it, and I haven't yet. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to reread at least volume 1, but probably the entire comic series. Roll number 5. 5. This means I need to spin the color wheel. Okay, going to spin the color wheel. And we got amber, so that means I need to find a book that is amber. Okay, and roll number 5. What color? Purple. Okay, and then for number 5, our last roll, sort of, for Bookoplathon, we did end up getting the random color wheel, and when we did that, we got amber. So I need to find a book that is mostly amber. But then for the TBR game that I do, we got a purple. So I need to figure out what other color I'm going to use for this, because we need to find a book that is amber. Okay, I feel like this is the easiest way to do this. Again, I'm going to have you guys do a poll, because I found a couple books that I sort of want to read that I think classify as amber. So the first one I have here is The Duke Who Didn't by Courtney Milan. This I do believe is historical romance. I'm not very much a historical romance person, but I have been very interested in this one, and I do have it on an ebook. And I could be wrong. Maybe it's not historical. It just says that Jeremy is the Duke of Lansing, but Jeremy doesn't necessarily sound like a historical name. We'll see. It has some pretty good ratings. I have some friends who have read this, and yeah, so romance, possibly historical romance, but the background does look amber to me. I'm classifying amber as like a yellow-orange. And then my second choice is actually another romance that I have as an ebook, and it's going to be Act Like It by Lucy Parker. Again, I feel like there's some definite amber vibes in the background of this cover, and this is going to be a celebrity romance, I believe a like actor, like stage theater actor type of romance. Again, pretty good ratings. I have friends who've read it and loved it, and so yeah, you guys get to pick an amber colored romance. Now that is going to actually be it for my TBR game. So those were the 5 rolls that I'm going to be focusing on. I think you guys have 3 polls this month. Somehow that seems to be the easiest thing to do when I'm trying to combine prompts, because I didn't want to like mess up genres or challenges, but I actually ended up getting 2 doubles during those rolls, so that means we do have to roll 2 extra times. They will not be books necessarily that I'm focusing on this month, Like, I'm focusing on those 5 first, but we do have to roll for them. Okay, roll number 6 because we did receive a double. 9. And it is community shelf. So like I said before, we have my green cards and we're going to pick one from here.
Pick a green card.
Okay, Presley's gonna pick a green card. Can you pick one?
This.
Oh. Okay, you got 2. Pick one. That one. Okay, you're gonna show the camera. Thank you.
Baby, hold it.
A new release. So this will be a book published within the last year. So within the last 12 months. And so my first double roll that I got is a community shelf card, which we did pick, and we picked new release. So anything that was released in the last 12 months, it does not have to be something that was necessarily in 2022, but in the last 12 months. And for this one, I'm going to be picking Ceremony of Ashes by Jason Robert Ducharme. This came out October of 2021, so we're just barely fitting it into my classification of new releases. And this is going to be a horror novella. I actually think I read 2 horror novellas by this author last year, or in 2020 and 2021. I don't actually remember what this one is about. It could be like a haunted house sort of thing. I don't know, but again, feeling sort of spooky, along with all the romance reads that I'm picking as well. And so yeah. And then roll number 7 because we got another double. Hopefully this is the last one. 9. Another community shelf, which means another green card. Okay, pick a card. Which one?
This one.
That one, and then you're gonna show the camera. This way. Oh yeah, the dice. Leave the dice. Thank you. Okay, so this is a random number for an ebook. This actually means I'm gonna go on Goodreads and randomize to see which ebook we're gonna read. Okay, so here we are at my ebook shelf, or I guess it's the TBR Kindle shelf. These are all the books that I own on ebook. And here at the bottom it says sort by date added, but we're gonna sort by random, and whatever one pops up is going to be the one we are going to do. Which is Trust and Treachery, the first book in the Echoes of Soul series by Charissa Dufour. And then for our final double roll, we ended up getting another community shelf card that we picked, and it was for a random number generator of my ebooks. We did do that actually on camera as well, and we got Trust and Treachery by Charissa Dufour. This I do believe is going to be a sci-fi romance. I don't know much else about it, but that has already been picked, so that was quite easy. And my camera battery is blinking at me. Apparently I did too much filming today, so we're gonna wrap this up. I also hear my daughter, who daddy has her, it's all good, but she's crying, so I should get out there. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up to let me know. Subscribe to this channel if you'd like to see more videos. I do have videos up on Thursday, so I will see you then. Bye.